So today on Project Shop, we are actually breaking down the shop. We already got a good beat on it. Man, you really don't know how much stuff you have until you start moving. And definitely taking a little bit longer than I thought. One of the hardest things was getting the shelving that I had installed down. It was all freestanding shelves, and the way I did it was very unconventional. It basically wrapped around, came across here all the way there, and then went down there, but everything on this side basically was floating in the air and was held up by a structure I had put across the top and was supported by over there. Lots of hardware, lots of redneck engineering going on, and now this is one of the most redneck engineered parts of it. Is this section here where I wanted an open space, so we have like the rack, another rack, and this shelving was actually built with the uprights. It's supposed to be like this, but I wanted 16-foot spans. You know, it kind of worked out on the layout of the shop to give me the optimal space. But yeah, now we're tearing it down, and it is actually, I was tearing it down and I was thinking the whole time, like, how did I even get this thing up the way I did? It was quite the process. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to see if this machine will actually pick up the mill. I'm going to pull all the stuff off of it, slide this back and down, and slide the head back far enough to where I could just get a support under here and see if I can't pick it up with the forklift extensions. And then I have to go home and get the steel pallet so I can bolt this thing down to the pallet. I'm hoping I don't have to remove the upper portion, because I think when I brought it here, I brought this in 3 pieces. These 4 bolts, this whole head will come off, and the motor was disconnected. I had to have that rebuilt. But other than that, I think at least I'm hoping I'll be able to pick it up. This thing probably weighs 2,000 plus pounds. So being that we're going to have to put the forklift extensions on it, I'm not sure this machine's actually going to be able to pick it up. And if not, we have to do you know, something different. I would like to get it out of the way. It's just going to make it easier for me to break this structure down. Yeah, but it took, I don't even know how long it took me to build all this, but it's taken its toll trying to get it down. And you know, pack this stuff. And then the racks, which are 16 feet long, don't even fit in my dump trailer, which is a 16-foot bed, because I had welded some plates. Well, these ones will fit, they don't have plates. The other ones I welded plates to run steel cable through for support. And yeah, so it's definitely a challenge. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably clear off the shelves, get that stuff all on pallets, and then I'll pull them, see if I can at least pull the machine out of there and start breaking down the last of the shelf, other than the one over here. This will be the actual last shelf I break down. But yeah, this will hopefully be out of here, and that'll be it for this space, man. Just a couple of little straggler things I just need to throw on the trailer. I left behind an air compressor in case I need air here. We got a lot of shit going on over here, and it's kind of bittersweet. Well, I just keep finding stuff I forgot I had. I forgot I had a good old, that's probably a 9 or 10 foot I-beam. I knew I had these two short ones. Now what I'm thinking is I could put these two short ones up underneath that carport and put this in between them and run a trolley to pick up certain things. I mean, obviously ain't gonna be able to pick up too much with that aluminum I-beam. It's not that thick, but it's, I mean, it's thick enough where we could pick up some stuff. I think the I-beam on top of the stator wrecker is about that long right there. And that's not a permanent thing. I actually want to do something different there. So maybe I could use 3 beams. If I had one in the middle, I could be able to pick up more stuff. I don't know how it would attach that in the middle. Anyway, yeah, we're coming along here pretty nice. I'm gonna go and just keep moving along the top here, remove this stuff. That stuff is a bunch of tools, mason tools, like concrete finishing tools, and I'm not sure what else is up there. And those are the fenders to my truck. And then that stuff there, I'm pretty sure is the dude Chris. And for those of you who don't know, that's the guy at the end of my video that flips the trike. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. And then I was thinking about those brass lights, man. Those things are cool, and they came from, I think they came from the breakers, and they replaced them with something very similar that was like $2,000 a light. I might be able to put 2 of them on posts up in front of my property and maybe convert them to LED and run a solar panel out there and just have them run off of solar, maybe with some flicker lights or something. That would be cool. Make it look like you know, old school burning things. Anyway, this is dusty and just messy. I was going to take all of my LEDs, but I don't like these ones at all. So I think I'm probably just going to leave them. They're not very bright, and we'll just gift them to these guys. Because when I moved in here, that light barely worked, and they came and put that light and that light, and that was literally like all the light this shop had, and that one up there worked for a while, but there was very limited lighting in this place. So this next part is going to be interesting, because I think how I built this is I had put this, that's going to be the last piece to come down. I put that up, and then I think what I did is I put that end on that thing, and I held this up, and I must have like pushed this up like that, and then secured that, and then built that. So that's going to have to come out, and then I'll have to support that, bring that down, and then pull that down. That's the only way I think how I built that. I'm not even sure. I don't remember. I mean, it was a couple years ago. I know I built all of this by myself, and then Steve came and helped me build the one that went across over there and the one that went down that way. So I know some of this racking I'm going to have to put somewhere outside. I think because they're 16 foot. I'm glad I didn't cut them. That one, and I have 2 or 3 in the thing already. I'm going to actually build a temporary fuel shed out of them. So I'll have a spot to blend my fuel away from everything, and away from any welding or anything that I'm doing. Just keep it contained off away from everything. So We'll get into that later, but we'll probably have to pour a small pad for that. I don't know. We'll see. But we got enough heavy duty racking where I could put like three totes, and I got all this brand new. Some of them even have the safety pins, never been used, just been stored up there. So we got enough proper shelving to do, you know, OSHA approved stuff. And yeah, so I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get out the door with this. I just needed to get this down, but I'm gonna try to get this out of the building somehow and bring in another pallet, and we're just gonna keep on going. And then we got to deal with that mess. There's some nice high dollar stuff in there, man. We got a lot of big sheets, 4x10 sheets of pretty thick aluminum diamond plate. My big hockey arena plexiglass I got from the Florida Panthers, and just tons of. We got aluminum expanded metal, regular expanded metal, aluminum plates, sheet, diamond plate, steel diamond plate, pretty much everything, man. Perforated steel, a lot of good stuff. A lot of new stock. A lot of it was recovered from scrap. Well, there's a lot here. I mean, this thing, I forget what, oh, this is the base of a generator I used, and then I used, this is actually pallet shelving. It says these arms. That's what I did, now that I'm thinking back. Yeah, that was a fun little build. Definitely helped clean up the shop, even though the shop's an absolute mess. We got steel everywhere, but I'm gonna have to find a spot for that. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to put that in. I don't want that really outside. Got so much to do, so much to figure out, and not enough time. So we're just gonna keep on trucking and keep on tearing stuff down. So I really like I found that I-beam, man. I'm pretty sure we will use that, put a trolley on. I got a couple trolleys, so we'll be able to utilize that and build a temporary gantry. I don't know if I have enough steel. We might have to do some big, thick 6x6 or whatever uprights temporarily. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna get that out of the building, and then we'll see what we got up there. Oh. And another thing I'm having an issue with, and it's a very funny problem because it comes and goes. And I think what's happening is I got debris in the system somehow. Ever since I fixed the bottom of the forklift, the mast is creeping down, and I can see fluid and air bubble come through this thing, and I noticed a little bit of moisture. And this is and one day I did, like the first day it happened, I noticed a piece of black stuff it went down, and I was like going to stop it and open it up and try to get it out, but it went down in there. I don't know where it went, but I think I have a piece of rubber floating around the system, and I don't know why. I guess because it doesn't loop back. It's not like a looped system. It's just everything's single acting, so it's pushing it and coming back. It seems like every once in a while it gets worse, where it's bleeding down really fast. Like yesterday, I had Oliver and Steve here. I had to sit on the forklift while we were taking this down and run it the whole time and keep the valve going. And then just moving the mill, it seems like when I pick up something heavy, it stops. And right now, it held that thing up there, but earlier, I don't know, you probably seen in the time lapse when I was moving the stuff over here, it was just creeping down. And then now, it's holding its thing. So that's kind of frustrating, especially like I'm in here doing something by myself, and thank God Steve was here to help me. But it seems like it comes and goes, so I don't know. We'll probably have to flush the system and rebuild all the cylinders at some point, you know, with new seals and hoses. I don't know, it's one more thing, but I am finding all the parts that I stashed around here for this thing. So once we get moved, man, we'll put this thing back together and hopefully get some concrete for it to run on. Okay, so we got that pretty much broke down, and I got this staged up to where I can unbolt all this. Hopefully I can get the forklift up under here and hold this in place without it creeping down. If not, I'm gonna have to see if Steve's still around. But if you can see what's happening here, how I was able to get a complete open space here. I started with this one, and then I actually put some uprights back here, and put this is that 16-foot upright is basically just sitting on more upright. I literally just dissected a bunch of shelving to build this custom. This is like the engineering of a madman looking at it, but it worked out really good for the space I had. Now what I need to do is, like I said, support this and just start unbolting these braces. This is all just what I had. Ultimately, I wish I would have had a beam that went all the way down to the support, but going that far and having this beam rest on it, this is actually a steel I-beam, and I forget how far that went. But anyway, once we get this down, it's pretty much this one more section. But there's a lot. This first section was like the foundation of everything, you know? So it was like heavily reinforced. And like I said, ultimately, like this should have went all the way to the floor, but it's what I had on hand without cutting up more of the uprights. I wanted to keep as many of them as long and original as possible, because this stuff is expensive. This is the double thick ones. As you can see the difference between like this one, it's only one thickness. This is double thick. They're like the Home Depot shelvings. They're made for holding 3,000 pound shelves. Like you can tell the difference over here between this beam and the one directly behind it. You know, that one's maybe what, 3 inches, and this is a full 4 or 5 inches, or 4.5, whatever. But I'm pretty sure that these beams are rated for 3,000 pounds, but you're supposed to have them with the thicker things, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna go get something to eat real quick. I got a sandwich I got heating up, and then I'm just gonna keep plugging at it, man. We gotta take down my aluminum diamond plate shelf that I put up, that I never got to finish putting the lights back on. I wanted to put some LEDs back here to reflect off the diamond plate. We got the old garbage 9mm that the guy that worked for me found in a dumpster. Gotta figure I could see bullets in there. Just gotta be careful. I don't think anything would ever come out of that thing, but I'm curious if this thing could ever be, maybe not shot again, but at least racked. that'd be cool. Anyway, yeah, so gotta take all this stuff down. This was another project I never finished. I have enough of this black stuff. I was gonna coat the whole wall in it. But hey, whatever. We're gonna have to move on from that and you know, build something new. So hopefully we'll have this down in the next hour or two. It's just a lot of tedious stuff. A lot of crazy redneck engineering went into building this setup. So it's just crazy taking it apart. Thinking about how I actually put this together by myself was pretty interesting. All right, look at that big old open space, man. It's been a long time since there's been this much space in this bay. It's, like I said, it's kind of bittersweet, man. And that thing, man, was that thing bolted together. There's bolts all over the floor, and this whole thing is just full of hardware. It was thoroughly bolted together and constructed not to fall on my head, basically. And this is all the bits and pieces and supports. Yeah, so now those 16-foot pieces are no joke, man. Now what I have to do, because unfortunately when I had that up there, I had ran some steel cables down through here to compress, and I had like blocks pushing up, almost like tension cable, pre-tension, post-tension, and concrete to you know, help the structure. But I had welded these plates on the end, and unfortunately they are just enough to not let the door close. I think if I get that plate out of there, I hope it's enough to, why does that one seem longer? That one seems really long. I might have to whack off some more of that. We'll have to see how this door closes all the way. But it seems like it might be just a little bit more than 16 feet. I'll just whack it off, you know, and make it so we can lay them down. I'm gonna lay them down in here, stack them up, and then I have all the little bits I have, we're gonna put in between and stacking, just keep stacking and stacking and stacking and fill it up with all the stuff. We should be able to get a lot of stuff in this thing. And I got it looks like we got some weather coming, so I gotta tighten up, because not everything I want out in the I mean, I still have to go through some of this stuff, but yeah, it's a lot. it's just I just thinking, like, trying to tear this down, like how I put it together, thought process, and the time it took me to put this together. Because the first section you seen, I did by myself, and I think I filmed it, man. It might be on the channel, I don't know, but I just couldn't believe the amount of bolts and double, like each one was secured in 2 different ways, so it just wasn't going to come apart. It was actually very structurally sound for not using proper cross pieces. It was all uprights, but it was reinforced in a way that it did exactly what I needed to do, and I could have put way more weight on this than I did. So by looking at them clouds, ooh, I'm going to tighten up and get these ends whacked off and get these things in there so I can start bringing out a bunch of stuff and load this down. I got to get this to the house, pick up my flat deck, come back, and get my mill out of here. Now, I did clean up a lot of stuff over here. All the stuff on pallets is going to get loaded up on here, and yeah, we're gonna probably have, I'm gonna get most of the stuff out of here today, and then there's probably gonna be one more day of scrapping where I deal with the light plant and that car, and then that's gonna be it, man. Whatever scrap doesn't get processed here that actually needs to be processed will go to the house, unfortunately. But there's not a lot, maybe like 3 bins. The rest of the stuff is just random steel and stuff that's just going to go to the steel yard. The pallets I'll probably bring home and burn, and yeah, we'll clean this whole place up. That's going to get mounted on there. I actually got to wait. I just realized my forklift won't even pick that up. That thing weighs 4,000. I max out at 3, so I got to wait until Tuesday, borrow that guy's forklift, set it on there, and then haul that. That'll be one of the last things hauled out of here. So okay, let's keep moving before we get rained out. All right, well, we got all them shelves out of here. It's the next day. It absolutely poured on us while we were loading that stuff up. Now we're back here. I got the lathe outside, the drill press. We're going to use this. I messed up and took the I-beams that we used. So we're going to pick this thing up, put it on this pallet, bolt it down the best we can, and load it up and get on the road. Okay, we made it back over here to the ranch, and machines made it with no issue. I did run into a slight little bit of rain. Oh, excuse me, I'm choking on some Popeye's chicken. We did have a little casualty I seen flapping in the wind, but this was already broken. You can see something smashed it. That was like that when I got it years and years ago. So now I need to figure out how to get all this crap off. I brought these big I-beams. Now these I-beams, they got plates to anchor. This might be the beginning of my fuel shed. I don't know. We'll have to see, or we'll use the uprights for the 16 footers. We got all them things stashed in the big dump trailer over there, but we got Rusty over here. And, oh yeah, buddy, I bet you're hungry, huh? I gotta do something. I gotta put their water back on the thing and get them some new water tanks, because this one's cracked and a little crusty. What's up, buddy? Huh? Huh? You sitting out here in the sun? Huh? What? Huh? Huh? All right, all right, all right. You want some food? You want some food? Is that what you want? What do you got? You got a long eyelash, buddy. Poor guy, look at him. He's baking out in the sun. My mom says light color horses get sunburned pretty easy. I mean, there's plenty of shade and grass to graze in the shade, but they like being out in the sun, man. They like being out in this giant field. I don't get it. I'd be eating grass in the shade if I was them. Now, what I want to do is I want to get their water trough in the shade so they got nice cool water. They're just like baking out in the sun. And I also have to get over here and start filling in this hole they're making coming around this corner. Oh, I know. Don't worry, you'll eat soon. I'll get you some food. I'll get you a snack too. I think I got some apples for you. We got this beast over here. This guy's got grass hanging out of his mouth. You ready to eat, buddy? Huh? You ready to eat? All right, calm down. Look at these guys. They're buddies. We got a nice little animal farm going on over here. Okay, well, that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to feed these guys. We got some wind picking up. I did drive through a slight little bit of rain. I was going fast enough, and I don't think it really, the machine's dried off pretty quick. But I'm going to get them in the, hopefully with no issues, get them inside the thing with the pallet jack. I got to go make some room. And then I got to figure out how, where exactly I'm going to put them, because we're running out of space quick. And some of my stuff is just going to, unfortunately, have to be outside, like these guys. I pulled in here the other night, like 11 o'clock at night. This dude's just out in the field grazing. It's crazy animals. They're used to like living out. Look at these flies. I'll have to get you some fly stuff, buddy. They're used to living out in the just out in the elements, in the rain, the wind, everything. Okay, say goodbye, Rusty. We'll see you on the next one. He's like Mr. Ed. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard.
Dance. You ever seen your copper dance before?